Thank you. I think what Luke said in terms of crafting these FOIA violations, don't get too caught up in it, but try to be specific as you can about what you want. I think that's very important. The municipal league, as Jeff can probably attest to, but probably won't. We had this case in Washington County that Professor Steinbuck on critical race theory documents, and they had this business of, they told Isla Campbell, who was the plaintiff, just too broad, we just don't know what you're asking for. Well, it looked pretty good to me, but we took it as lawyers, and I had my partner, who is right along the intelligence level of Robert Steinbuck, smarter than me for sure. I said, I want you to craft a FOIA request that is really specific, and he did. We sent it to him, same thing, it's overbroad, we don't know what you're asking for. Okay, well, thank you very much, here's your lawsuit, and we go to court, and before we get there, they produce all 8,000 documents or whatever it was. But do try to tailor and work with the city. If they say, hey, this is too, okay, how can I, it doesn't need to be confrontational. Okay, well, I'll try to make it more specific. But sometimes, you run into city government that it sounds like here they're really cooperative. They want to send notice to people, they want to send documents, they want to answer your FOIA request. But then on the other hand, you have some cities out there, in Centerton, for example, that they have a lawyer who's running the show, who's telling them how to answer these things, and they're just not doing it in good faith. And you ever heard the story about the egg-sucking dog? Well, you got to break them, and that's what we've attempted to do. One of the great things about the Professor Steinbuck and his book, in the back of this, it has sample forms, and so you can go to the back and you can see how to craft a FOIA request, and it's got the information you need. But again, don't hesitate to call me or Robert Steinbuck. We'll help you. We'll direct you and show you. So appreciate that talk, Luke. Now we're going to move to thank you, a good friend of mine and someone who is, as I mentioned earlier, who is doing awesome work in Conway with the Faulkner County Reports, Bob Gregory. And I should have mentioned earlier, I talked about a case that I had with Bob where they just weren't giving him documents, but Bob has also done some great work on critical race theory and getting documents in Conway, and has got it sounds like they probably get close to filling up this room, but maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement. But Bob is going to speak with us today on questions and answers about the Arkansas FOIA. I want to give credit to Dr. Lewis, who obviously these documents that he's produced, he always does a great job in his presentations. For years I came up and spoke, and he's just always so well organized and prepared. And some of the things he wanted to accomplish was take this little handbook and go through each little section. And so that's part of the program today, just to kind of give you the inner workings. And so with that, I'm going to present to you Bob Gregory from Conway.